Your greatest weapon, your sharpest tool, might also be your silent undoing. Right now, as you listen, someone could be using your own words against you. They're carefully recalling sentences you spoke weeks, even months ago. That playful tease you made last month, it's being remembered as an insult. That small fear you whispered to a close friend, it's now leverage in someone else's hands. That quick moment of weakness you showed, for a clever mind, it's a direct map to your downfall. You might think words simply vanish after you say them. You might believe that people are too busy to remember every detail you utter. You probably assume your private talks are truly private. This belief, this quiet trust, is the most dangerous illusion of our time. History is filled with its warnings. Great leaders have lost their power over a careless phrase. Strong kingdoms have crumbled because secrets were too easily spoken. Deep friendships have shattered because trust was broken by a loose tongue. The wise thinkers of old, like Niccolò Machiavelli, grasped a profound truth that we, in our noisy world, seem to have forgotten. Your mouth, your words, your very voice, they are your most powerful, yet often most dangerous, enemy. They eagerly expose your deepest secrets, reveal your hidden weaknesses, and hand your rivals exactly what they need to bring you to your knees. Machiavelli dedicated his life to studying power, observing human nature, and he uncovered the ultimate, unchanging truth. Those who truly control their words also control their own fate. Those who don't inevitably become mere victims of their own uncontrolled voice, their own unthinking chatter. In the next few minutes, you will uncover 10 subtle psychological traps that turn your mouth into the very tool of your own destruction. These situations play out constantly, every single day, to everyone around you. But only those with true wisdom recognize them before it's too late to save themselves. If these truths hit hard, if you're ready to take back control of your words, then act now. Subscribe to learn more secrets of power and protect yourself. Trap 1. The Outburst Abyss. Think of your temper like a deep well. When anger takes over, your brain's natural security locks completely shut down, and your mouth becomes an open confessional. Every past hurt you've silently suffered, every hidden resentment, every dark thought you've suppressed, they all come gushing out like poison. The person who triggered your anger isn't just a simple opponent. They instantly become your interrogator, extracting information. They found the quickest way to pull your deepest truths out of you. While you're consumed by feeling justified in your rage, they are calmly collecting vital intelligence about who you really are beneath your mask. Uncontrolled anger makes you dangerously predictable. Once someone knows what makes you explode, they own you. They can trigger your fury whenever they need you to reveal something, make a mistake, or destroy your own credibility. Your anger becomes their remote control. The most damaging part isn't even the harsh words, it's who hears them and how they remember them. Your moment of intense rage becomes their permanent record, a lasting stain on your character. Your temporary loss of self-control becomes their undeniable, lasting evidence against you for good. Machiavelli once famously stated, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." True command starts with commanding yourself first. If you cannot control your own mouth when angry, you will never truly control anything else. Your rage isn't strength, it's weakness wearing a mask of power. Powerful people feel anger but never show it publicly. They process fury privately and respond strategically. They understand that today's emotional explosion becomes tomorrow's crucial ammunition for those who wish to see them fail. Trap 2. The Loud Legacy. Success can be more intoxicating than strong drink. When you're winning, your ego demands recognition. You crave applause for your brilliance. You long for all the credit for your clever strategies. This overwhelming need for outward validation has quietly destroyed more winners than outright failure ever could. Every explanation of your success becomes a free lesson for your competitors. Every revelation of your strategy instantly becomes a roadmap for those who are plotting to defeat you. Every detail you carelessly share about how you achieved your goals transforms into a blueprint for your eventual replacement. The hunger for public recognition is a cunning trap. Brilliant minds can't resist explaining their genius or staying quiet about their victories. They transform from mysterious winners into transparent, easily defeated losers with every unnecessary word they speak. Your competitors aren't genuinely celebrating your success, they're studying it. They're not truly impressed, they're reverse engineering your achievements. They are not your admiring audience. They are your future opposition, now fully armed with the intelligence you carelessly handed them. Machiavelli once wisely taught, a wise ruler ought never to keep faith when by doing so it would be against his interests. Sharing your success story too freely might feel like being honest, but it's actually working against your own future interests by educating your potential enemies. Your true loyalty should always be to your future victories, not to satisfying curiosity. Truly wise leaders celebrate their wins internally and speak externally only when silence would create more significant problems. They understand that mystery protects power, while over-explanation gradually destroys it. The less they know, the more they respect your results as almost magical. The more you explain, the more ordinary you become. Trap 3. The wine-soaked confession. Alcohol doesn't create new dangerous thoughts. It powerfully removes the mental walls that keep them hidden. Every drink weakens your brain's security. Every glass lowers your defenses. Every bottle turns you into a source of crucial secret information for anyone smart enough to stay sober. The most valuable secrets are often uncovered, not through harsh questioning, but through sharing a bottle of wine. People confess personal affairs, reveal strategies, admit fears, and expose plans when inhibitions melt away. What might take years to learn through observation can be discovered in a single, unguarded evening. Professional manipulators are experts at liquid interrogation. They create comfortable environments, provide endless drinks, and ask seemingly innocent questions, while their targets become more talkative, open, and vulnerable. They remember everything with clarity, while you forget everything. Your drunk confessions become sober consequences. That casual admission about relationship problems could become evidence in a divorce. That revelation about business struggles could become vital intelligence for competitors. That moment of drunken honesty could lead to a lifetime of regret. Machiavelli once advised, "Therefore a prince, so long as he keeps his subjects united and loyal, ought not to mind the reproach of cruelty." For you, this means being cruel to your own impulses when alcohol flows. Your temporary desire to connect will create permanent damage to your position. The fleeting pleasure of sharing secrets becomes the lasting pain of being exposed. Smart people drink strategically, with limits, or not at all in important settings. They understand that in a world where everyone has recording devices, every intoxicated word can become damning evidence. They consistently choose clarity and self-protection over casual, risky connection. They realize that temporary warmth isn't worth permanent exposure. They prefer to be clear-headed and secure. Trap 4. The crack in the armor. Pressure, intense and unyielding, is a powerful test that reveals a person's true strength. Most people, when genuinely tested, discover they have far less resilience than they thought. When stress builds up, deadlines loom, and expectations weigh heavily, the mask of composure often cracks. What emerges then is often ugly, fragile, and ripe for exploitation. Stress creates desperation, and desperation often forces confession. Under pressure, people hastily admit they're unqualified, reveal they're struggling, and confess they're failing. They believe they're seeking support, but they're providing their enemies with targeting information. Your breaking point isn't authenticity, it's exploitation. While you're focused on relieving pressure, others are focused on applying more. Your visible stress becomes their golden opportunity to extract information, gain advantage, or position themselves for your downfall. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." When you visibly break down under pressure, you inspire neither fear nor love. You inspire contempt. People lose respect for those who can't handle stress professionally. Your moment of weakness becomes their permanent assessment of your capabilities. Pressure itself is not your enemy. Your response to pressure is. Master your response, and pressure becomes a tool for eliminating weak competitors who carelessly expose themselves under stress. This self-control under fire builds an aura of unshakable strength. It communicates that you are unflappable, that your core remains strong, no matter the external storm. When others panic, your calm makes you a beacon, giving you unseen authority. Trap 5. The victim's veil. Professional manipulators rarely attack directly. Instead, they cleverly appear vulnerable and in desperate need of help. They share crafted stories of struggle, reveal minor weaknesses, and skillfully make you feel like their savior. While you're busy feeling important and needed, they are quietly extracting every piece of valuable information you possess. The victim's veil trap works powerfully because it reverses the power dynamic. Instead of feeling threatened, you suddenly feel protective. Instead of guarding your own secrets, you carelessly share them to help. Instead of maintaining distance, you instantly create a false intimacy that can be ruthlessly exploited later. Real vulnerability is rare and messy. Performed vulnerability is polished and purposeful. Learn to tell the crucial difference. The person who tells the perfect sob story is often the most dangerous predator. Your natural compassion, unfortunately, becomes their crucial competitive advantage. Every secret you share to help them becomes intelligence they will eventually use against you. Every weakness you expose in solidarity becomes powerful ammunition for future attacks. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple of mind and so much dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful person will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived." Your human need to help and connect makes you deeply vulnerable to this deception. While you're focused on being a good person, they are coldly focused on being a successful manipulator. Your kindness becomes their subtle weapon. True strength helps others without ever revealing its own vulnerabilities. It supports without sharing secrets. It shows deep compassion without showing weakness. You must master this balance, or you risk becoming easy prey. A truly wise person helps with an iron hand in a velvet glove. Kindness shown through actions, not words that give away your strategic position. Trap 6. The information leak. Social groups operate on information currency. Every secret shared, every opinion revealed, every confidence broken has value. When you participate in gossip, you're not just passing time. You're unknowingly trading valuable intelligence. Most people, sadly, are terrible at this negotiation. The information leak trap has simple, brutal rules. Information flows upward to power, and betrayal flows downward to weakness. The person who quietly collects secrets without sharing them accumulates power. The person who carelessly shares secrets without collecting them becomes powerless. Every workplace, friend group, community has information brokers. They appear interested, trustworthy, and connected. But in reality, they're running intelligence operations where your secrets are the product and your trust is the transaction cost. The most dangerous aspect of gossip isn't what you say about others. It's what your participation reveals about you. Every secret you thoughtlessly share proves you cannot be truly trusted. Every confidence you break advertises your unreliability. Every piece of gossip you spread becomes undeniable evidence of your character flaws. Machiavelli once said, "The way men live is so far removed from the way they ought to live, that anyone who abandons what is for what should be, pursues his downfall rather than his preservation." You might think gossip ought to be harmless social bonding. The harsh reality is that it's information warfare, where your secrets are traded like commodities. While you focus on what should be, others are keenly exploiting what actually is. A ruthless marketplace for intelligence. Master this hidden information economy by actively becoming a quiet collector of data, rather than a careless distributor of secrets. Listen to everything with sharp attention, contribute nothing truly valuable of your own, and calmly watch as others destroy themselves with their own loose, unthinking tongues. This detached observation gives you immense strategic advantage. You become the silent banker of secrets, holding valuable information that gives you leverage, without ever spending your own currency. When people realize you know more than you say, they will start to trust you more, precisely because you don't gossip. Trap 7. The authority minefield. When authority challenges you, especially unfairly, every instinct screams for justice. You feel an overwhelming urge to defend yourself, prove your worth, and show your competence. This natural instinct is a dangerous trap that can destroy careers, relationships, and reputations. Authority figures don't want your explanations, they want your submission. Most challenges from authority are tests disguised as conflicts. They are designed to reveal whether you can handle pressure, accept criticism, and maintain professionalism. When you respond emotionally, you fail the test and confirm their assessment of your limitations. The fairness you demand often doesn't exist within power structures. The respect you expect must be earned through consistent results, not demanded through arguments. The understanding you seek will almost never come from directly challenging those who hold your future in their hands. Your passionate defense often becomes your prosecution. Every word you speak to justify yourself becomes evidence of your inability to accept responsibility. Every argument proves you lack the wisdom to recognize when strategic silence serves you far better than speech. Machiavelli once said, "Politics have no relation to morals. The moral outrage you feel about unfair treatment is irrelevant to your success. Power operates by different rules than justice. Your choice is simple: adapt quickly to these rules, or inevitably become their victim." Smart, powerful people respond to authority challenges with strategic compliance, followed by exceptional, undeniable performance. They prove their worth through concrete results, not rhetoric. They understand that today's unfair criticism can become tomorrow's opportunity if handled with calm intelligence. This means accepting the criticism, even if unfair, in the moment. Then, with quiet determination, exceeding all expectations. Your actions will speak volumes, far louder than any defensive words. Trap 8. The betrayal echo. When relationships end in painful betrayal, you possess powerful, dangerous knowledge, their secrets, fears, failures, and weaknesses. The temptation to use this information, to weaponize it, feels like justice. However, seeking revenge through revelation by exposing their secrets is a self-destructive strategy that will ultimately harm you far more than your target. Every relationship involves a mutual exchange of private information. You know their vulnerabilities, and they know yours. When you make the grave mistake of revealing their secrets, you are not just attacking them. You are advertising yourself as someone who will ruthlessly weaponize private information when hurt. Future partners, employers, and allies will always be watching how you handle relationship endings. They are evaluating whether you can truly be trusted with sensitive information. Your act of revenge quickly becomes a powerful, lasting warning about your flawed character. The most devastating aspect of revenge isn't the immediate damage to your target. It's the long-term, irreversible destruction of your own reputation. Everyone will learn that you're willing to betray confidences when hurt. Your credibility becomes worthless. Machiavelli once advised, "Severity should be dealt out all at once, so that their suddenness may give less offense. Benefits ought to be handed out drop by drop, so that they may be relished the more. If you must seek revenge, do it through actions that cannot be directly traced back to revealed confidences. Maintain your powerful reputation for discretion and secrecy, while finding other, indirect ways to settle scores. Your strategic silence in these moments preserves your true power for future battles." Professional power players handle betrayal with cold, strategic silence. They preserve secrets as future leverage rather than spending them for immediate satisfaction. They understand that secrets that are carefully maintained are infinitely more powerful than secrets that are carelessly revealed. Imagine a chess player who, when betrayed, doesn't immediately strike back. Instead, they quietly reposition their strongest pieces, making future moves that will cripple their opponent without revealing their emotional state or their full hand. Your silence after betrayal isn't weakness, it's a strategic withdrawal to a stronger position. Trap 9. The performance pitfall. When you feel truly inadequate, when deep uncertainty creeps in, your mouth instinctively tries to overcompensate by performing confidence, expertise, and importance. This excessive overcompensation is pure psychological theater that fools almost no one and tragically exposes everything. Your desperate need to prove yourself quickly becomes undeniable proof of your underlying inadequacy. Insecurity, left unchecked, creates verbal desperation. You casually name-drop important connections, over-explain simple concepts, and interrupt others constantly to seem important. Each of these behaviors, rather than achieving its intended effect, actually screams the exact opposite of what you want. Your performance becomes unintentional entertainment for everyone else in the room. True competence does not require constant advertisement. Real expertise does not need lengthy explanation. Genuine confidence does not actively seek outward validation from others. When you constantly perform these qualities through endless words, you unintentionally prove that you don't truly possess them through actual substance. The most dangerous part of this performance pitfall is that it makes you painfully predictable. People quickly learn exactly which emotional buttons trigger your deep need to prove yourself. They discover precisely how to manipulate you into carelessly revealing valuable information, making poor decisions, or acting directly against your own best interests. Machiavelli once said, "Never was anything great achieved without danger." The danger of appearing incompetent feels overwhelming when you are insecure, but the greater danger is proving your incompetence through this desperate overcompensation. Your hidden fear of seeming weak ultimately makes you genuinely weak and ineffective. True master performers allow their solid work and tangible results to create and build their reputation, rather than frantically trying to create it through constant self-promotion and empty words. They are perfectly comfortable with others not immediately recognizing their full value because they are deeply confident in their own ability to powerfully demonstrate it when it truly matters most. They understand that genuine power comes from results, not from rhetoric. They let their actions build their legend. Trap 10. The empty promise trap. When you face intense pressure, demands, or expectations you can't currently meet, your mouth, in a moment of weakness, starts writing checks your reality can't cash. Promises feel like solutions because they solve immediate problems without requiring immediate capability. But every promise creates a debt that compounds with interest. Promise-making is the language of the desperate. It's what people do when they lack present solutions to current problems. Instead of dealing with reality, they create fantasy futures that never materialize. Instead of building actual value, they build false expectations. The psychology of promises is seductive, because they cost nothing up front. You can promise to change, improve, deliver, or perform without any immediate investment. The payment comes later, when credibility is destroyed and trust is broken. Every unfulfilled promise becomes evidence against your reliability. Every broken commitment proves your word is worthless. Every failed guarantee demonstrates that you prioritize temporary relief over permanent reputation. Machiavelli once said, "He who builds on the people builds on the mud." Promises are built on hope, which is as unstable as mud. People want to believe your commitments because it solves their problems too. But when promises fail, both builder and foundation collapse together. Strategic operators make fewer promises and exceed expectations, rather than making grand commitments they can't keep. They underpromise and overdeliver, building reputations for reliability rather than rhetoric. They understand that true trust is built brick by brick, through small, consistent deliveries, not by grand, empty declarations. Your integrity, shown through kept promises and delivered results, becomes your most valuable currency. Your mouth, unknowingly, has been betraying you your entire life. Every conversation is a potential minefield where one wrong word can destroy years of careful positioning. Every social interaction is a chess game where your words are either strategic moves or fatal blunders. The 10 psychological traps we've explored today aren't rare events, they're daily occurrences. The difference between victims and victors isn't intelligence or opportunity. It's understanding that words have consequences and silence has power. Machiavelli understood what most people never learn. The game of life is won not by those who speak their minds, but by those who control their minds before they speak. Every word you utter either strengthens your position or weakens it. Every silence either protects you or costs you an opportunity. In a world where everything is recorded, remembered, and potentially weaponized, your verbal discipline and strategic communication become your most valuable skill. Your ability to speak strategically, with purpose, rather than impulsively or emotionally, will determine whether you'll control your destiny or become a victim of your own voice. The most successful people throughout history weren't the most talkative, they were the most strategic. They spoke when their words could build, and stayed silent when their words could destroy. They understood that in the ultimate game of power and influence, your mouth can either be your greatest asset or your most dangerous liability. The choice is now yours. Will you continue letting your mouth unknowingly sabotage your success? Or will you master the ancient art of strategic communication? Will you keep feeding your enemy's intelligence through careless conversation? Or will you wisely join the ranks of those who understand that true power whispers while weakness shouts? Your words will either meticulously build your empire or become the very tools others use to destroy it. The decision you make right now will determine which path your life follows. Remember, in a world full of people who constantly struggle to control their tongues, the person who completely masters their mouth truly masters their own destiny. If this revelation opened your eyes to how your own words have been used against you, hit that like button and subscribe now for more powerful insights into the dark psychology of power and manipulation. Your future self will profoundly thank you for learning these vital lessons before it's too late to change your path.